At the time of recording this video, it is the Black Friday sale, which is a very exciting time for music producers because it's normally the best time of the year to try and upgrade your software instruments or plugins. And I'm coming at you today with a guitar software instrument that I highly recommend that you consider getting, because as someone who even plays guitar and records guitar in, I still find myself going back to these Native Instruments software emulations because I just think they are so good. And I wanted to buy their latest one, the Electric Mint Session Guitarist, because if it's anything to go off, because I actually had before another one which was the Electric Vintage, and I use the Electric Vintage all the time, so I wanted to buy this and also do a review for you guys because I can show you through this software instrument and what it does, what it's capable of, and what I think of it. So smash that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and let's look at the Electric Mint by Native Instruments. So when you open up your DAW and open up Native Instruments Contact, this is Electric Mint. As you can see, I have the Electric Vintage already and I absolutely love it. I use this in so many productions. Again, as someone who's a guitarist, the samples inside these software instruments are so good, so well recorded and mixed straight out the tin, as I like to say. They are impeccable, and there's loads of different patterns and also a melody version which I'm going to show you, which is where you can play in your own patterns. But first I'm going to show you just through the actual pattern one when you open it. So have a listen to some of the presets and the loops that are in there to see what they're like. But let's give you a little bit of a tour. If you've never seen a Native Instruments Session Guitarist, I'm going to show you quickly through the layout. This is, again, it out of the box, and it comes in the preset, the Mint Pop. So what you do is you have different articulations which can be triggered through C1, like C sharp 1, D1, etc. So if I was to press them down here, you can see it changes the sample, and these are all different samples. This is different variations of the Mint Pop A, which is just a certain type of loop that they've recorded in. Let's have a quick listen. If I press down now on one of my keys, this is what it sounds straight out of the box. What's great about these loops is they quantize to whatever tempo you're doing. So I'm at a tempo in my track at the moment of 120, so it's playing to 120. But if I was to slow this down, let's say to 100, which is distinctly slower, you will see that the loop then plays slower, but still sounds great. So to go through your different preset patterns, you just click on the search bar here, and you can see there's loads of different samples to go through. And now what I really like is to show you the BPM that it was originally recorded at, so that's the truest tone that you are going to get if you use it to that tempo. But let's just try Dr. Funk. So some really cool samples here. And you can also search by genre as well, which is very cool because this is not an option on the Electric Vintage. So that's very cool that they've added this in. You can also search by tempo 4/4 as well, and triplets. So this is all really cool. So if we were to just play what they think is a pop one. So let's just put that in. As you can see, it sounds great. And again, as you go down, there are different variations. So if we go on Moody B, you'll hear it's the same tone, but a slightly different pattern that's being played. So what we can do is, as we play, we can actually trigger different parts of the pattern to make this even more unique to how we want to play it. This is basically using samples like that's been done since the 70s and the 80s. So let's quickly see what happens if we just play in here. As you see, I didn't really know what I was playing there because I was playing down. And what's even cooler about these patterns is you can actually now drag these into Logic and it will actually come up. So if we import the tempo to 100, you can now see that, unlike with the Electric Vintage before, you can now control even more. So if you wanted to change some certain notes up, you could. So let's quickly see what we can do here. So right now we've got a different chord to play. Maybe we just change the chord up. So we'll do an F, just an F major chord. So this should now play an F major chord. You get the idea. So it gives you very much creative control over how you want the pattern to go. So normally with these sorts of emulations, normally it has an auto chords put up so you can put your chords in, but now it gives you the control to change the chords yourself to the chord progression that you're playing, which I think is very cool. If you do want to play it in the original key that the pattern is in and you want to know, it does tell you what the actual key of the pattern is here. So this is A, for example, here, and it shows you what it's on. So if you like the pattern but you want to change the sound, you can go up to the sound presets here, and if you click on, there's loads of different presets. So we can change to, for example, to 70s disco. And the sample will stay the same, but the actual sound mixing will change. If you want to manually mix all your guitar settings, you go into guitar, and one of the cool things you could do is you can choose between the different pickup options that is on here, because it's a Strat guitar at the end of the day, so you can choose between them. And you can also have the option to double. So if you're listening headphones, push out to the sides of the mix. Very cool. And there's other things you can change as well, like the tone of the guitar, the volume, the mic volume it's recorded with, the decay of notes, whether it's short or long, and also the noise as well, so you can make this sound more human and humanize the guitar, for example. Then in amps and effects, this is where you can change all the amp and effects settings, so you can either add a variety of different pedals to change the sound and make it more yours, or you can take out from the preset that's already there. And lastly is the playback, where you can add swing, a little bit more of a humanized setting, and change the feel as well to downbeat or offbeat, which I think is a very cool little setting again, just to add to the whole performance of the guitar and make it sound less MIDI. And this is there's a lot of different things you could do here with the control, so it's very cool indeed. So now I'm going to show you is the Melody, which is the other version that you get when you buy this. Now the Melody is kind of exactly the same, to be honest, other than you actually play the notes on yourself, so it's completely open. So let's just quickly play in, let's say, a C major chord. Let's take it up a bit. And maybe like if we just play with it, this is what it sounds like if you're just playing notes. Use the sustain pedals, so it'll sound a lot better. So yeah, again, very cool, and it's the exact same situation. You can change the sound preset, make it your own. Again, in the articulations, you can vary up, so you can do muted, which is, again, sounds very nice. And then there's, as well, this, which I think is very nice. And also tremolo, of course. I just think it's great because it enables you to really play around with this, and the samples, again, straight out the tin, sounds very cool. And you can also use patterns as well and incorporate them in, which again is very good to have that sort of blend between the two, so it's not just strictly down to you having to play everything in. You can take patterns from there. So again, this is like such easy to use, and also just sounds so great out the tin, and I absolutely love using this. So what I will do quickly is I will just quickly play a little bit more of a roulette on some of the sounds, just so you can hear them for the sake of this video. Let's go for an R&B sound. That sounds cool. That's very cool. Let's go on that one. I'm a big fan of this one. Again, I'm just making something up on the spot there. That was very awful, but you get the idea. That sounds very cool. There's so many different ready to use, and like sometimes one of the hardest things about guitar can be actually mixing and finding the exact sound you want. So it's so great that there's such a variety of different presets straight out of the box that you can use. So that is the Electric Mint by Native Instruments. Let me know what you think of this plugin below, if you actually have it, how you found it, and if you haven't purchased it yet, this is currently available on Native Instruments website for £44, I believe, at the moment. I bought this to literally today, the day I'm using it. I have not been endorsed by Native Instruments to promote this software instrument, but I just, out of sheer enjoyment for Native Instruments, and as you can see, I have a lot of their different sounds. They're great to use, sound amazing. If you're looking to upgrade from software instruments, or you're looking to maybe find something that emulates guitar in a good way, I would look no further than the Electric Mint. If I'm comparing it to the Electric Vintage, basically the only difference is there's different loops and patterns that can be used, and also there is the clear difference that one is a Strat and one is a Telecaster, so they do sound different. But I would say it's good to own more than one if you only have one already, because the versatility with the type of guitar sounds you can get just improves massively, and I have no regrets on buying this at all. So yeah guys, that was my plug-in review of the Electric Mint. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, as it is the best way to support the channel. But I'm going to leave this video there, so keep making music, and I will see you in the next video.